President Barack Obama, in the face of a disappointing jobs report, vows to continue work to get the country's economy back on track.
A year ago, when I took office in the midst of the worst recession since the Great Depression, I promised you two things. The first was that there would be better days ahead. And the second was that the road to recovery would be long and sometimes bumpy. That was brought home again yesterday. We learned that in November, our economy saw its first month of job gains in nearly 2 years. But last month, we lost more than we gained. Now, we know that no single month makes a trend, and job losses for the final quarter of 2009 were 1/10 of what they were in the first quarter. But until we see a trend of good, sustainable job creation, we will be relentless in our efforts to put America back to work. That task goes even deeper than replacing the 7 million jobs that have been lost over the past 2 years. We need to rebuild our economy in such a way that our families can feel a measure of security again. Too many of the folks I've talked with this year, and whose stories I read in letters at night, tell me that they've known their own private recession since long before economists declared one, and they still feel the recession long after economists have declared it over. And that's because for decades, Washington avoided doing what was right in favor of doing what was easy. And the result was an economy where some made out well, but the middle class too often took a beating. Over the past decade, the income of the average household actually declined, and we lost as many jobs as we created. Hardworking folks who did everything right suddenly found themselves forced to downscale their dreams because of economic factors beyond their control. We're talking about simple dreams, American dreams, a good job with a good wage, a secure and dignified retirement, stable health care so you don't go broke just because you get sick, the chance to give our kids a better shot than we got. And that's why, as we begin to emerge from this crisis, we will not return to that complacency that helped cause the crisis. Even as we focus on putting America back to work, we're building a new foundation for our economy to create the good, lasting jobs and shared prosperity of tomorrow.
An angry Indiana father took his frustrations to YouTube, and now it's reportedly leading to death threats. The man says his video shows a distant female relative stealing his son's toy pistol at a Christmas party. She denies it.
Santa was there handing out presents. Children were squealing in delight. And then Greg Cox says a distant relative at the Christmas party made a Scrooge move, allegedly stealing his son's toy gun. He posted the video of the incident on YouTube. He says it shows Delana Ward taking some wrapping paper, covering the gun, and taking it away. He says he posted it to warn family members of her actions. She denies taking the gun.
No, I did not. No. I hid it safely away. That was it.
She says the boy was being obnoxious and pointing the gun at her son, so she took it and put it away. More than 45,000 people have viewed the video, and they've left many comments. Ward says she's now receiving death threats and insults to her family.
People are coming to my home. They're telling me that they're going to rape me, murder me, sodomize my children.
Cox, well, he says she brought this on herself.
Sometimes the consequences of your action can spiral out of control, yeah.
He tells the AP, while I do not condone any violence or threats, etc., against Delana Ward or her family, but if those things happen, there is nothing I can do about it. He says he wants an apology from Ward. She says, no way.
I will never give an apology.
Cox bought a new toy gun for his son, even though an offer was made to give the original back. Myra Lopez, The Associated Press.
Gunmen opened fire on the bus carrying Togo's national soccer team to a tournament in Angola, killing at least 3 people. The team has withdrawn from the African Cup of Nations.
Chaos and confusion among Togo's soccer team after their bus was attacked by gunmen. At least 3 people were killed and at least 8 players wounded. The team is devastated. Among the dead, the team's assistant coach and spokesman. The team was in Angola to play in the African Cup of Nations tournament. They've since withdrawn from the continent-wide tournament. It's not immediately clear if the convoy was targeted. Angola's Minister of Youth and Sports says the attack won't affect the tournament, though he says security will be beefed up. Angola's government blames the region's main separatist group for the attack, and they've claimed responsibility. The players responded roaming around a hotel. One had an obvious injury to his leg. Myra Lopez, The Associated Press.